welcome to another No Waste Wednesday. My name's Dawn, I'm the Reclusive Crafter. I've been having a bit of a sort out. I'm still working on the Steampunk journal. Hopefully there'll only be another couple of videos on that before we actually are in a position to do the walkthrough. I have got a number of cut-offs that I have come across, and I've also done a little bit of sorting. I need a couple of pockets and a few more little inserts and things. So I have been doing a little bit of sorting as to what I can use to make things with. Now I came across in my bits and pieces, I came across this little piece of napkin, which I did when I was doing some stamping, which I thought lends itself really nicely with the clocks and keys and things in there for steampunk. I'd already cut out some of the ledger bits to go in the journal, and what I think I will do with this is to pop a little piece onto there and give that a little bit of a background and then decorate it. And my aim is to do the same with this one as well, so I'm going to do that. I've picked out a few bits and pieces that I'm going to make pockets and things with, and kind of got things a little bit ready so that it doesn't take up quite so much time, and we're just going to get stuck in and get on with it, really. So we are midweek. Time flies so quickly, doesn't it? It really does. First thing I'm going to do is to get this bit of napkin on, because that'll take a little while to dry before I can do anything else with it. I've just had a thought. I just want to get some transparent, a little bit of plastic, clear plastic, just to rub over, just so it blends in nicely. So how is everybody today? I'm absolutely fabulous. I would like to give a very warm welcome to all the subscribers that have come on board recently. I had a rather unexpected shout out by Marimay Designs. She very kindly mentioned the fact that I'd used some of her bits and pieces and pointed people in my direction, which gave me a few extra subscribers. So if you're from Marimay Collections, welcome. Lovely to have you here, and welcome to all my other subscribers as well, new and existing. Things are beginning to build up rather nicely. That's not on there straight. Oh, this is the trouble with napkin. It can be a bit difficult to work with. I'm not sure if I've just messed that up or not, but we will try again. Get off. Okay, it's all a bit stickety pickety. I want that about there, I reckon. And try and get it down without too many creases in it. And then I shall leave this to dry while I work on a few other bits and pieces. Do you know, I'm normally really good at getting these down, and there we go. That's better. Yay, got there in the end. Right then, so that's on there. I just want to turn that over because that's got a little bit sticky now. So, and what I'm going to do now, this was a little trick that I saw from Kerry the Crafter, Kerry Griffith. If none of you have seen his channel, pop along. He's absolutely fabulous. He does a lot of gel printing. So if you're into gel printing or jelly printing, do pop along. But this was a tip that he gave for when you're working with napkin, is just put a bit of clear plastic over the top. He actually uses what do you call it, cling film. I'm not quite sure what you'd call that in other countries. In the UK it's cling film. It's like food wrap, clear food wrap. he uses clear food wrap, but I find that a little bit of heavier acetate type thing works really well too. And you literally just burnish over the top of it and just work it in. And it seems to kind of almost mould with the paper that you're putting it on, and works incredibly well. Then you just peel that off. Carefully does it. That's just a little bit of excess glue there. We'll get that off. Sorry, I've just realised probably blinding you there. And then I'm going to trim that little bit off there. There we go. You see that the effect that gives, isn't that lovely? It's almost as if you've done the stamping directly onto it, but you haven't. It's actually got the napkin over the top, which is beautiful. Lovely jubbly. I'm just going to trim that just initially. So that's that one. I'm not going to fully trim it until it's completely dry. And I will go on and do the other one. I'm going to put that to one side and let that start drying. And then I'm going to do my next one. So, I think that one will go on there. Oh, I've just got enough. That was handy. Yay. Perfect. Right then, let's pop this one on here. So, I did a little bit of stamping in my last video, and that's where I came across this when I was going through my stamping bit, and I thought, oh, I can make use of that. That will be very useful. So, and I also owe you all an apology. I didn't realise I'd actually uploaded the unedited video on the pretty paper clips. And when I just looked back at it, I don't know how I missed it, but it was upside down. So, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it now. It won't let me edit it any further now. It's uploaded. But yeah, it was upside down. So I do apologise. I hope you got the gist of it. Yeah, what an idiot, honestly. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. And it was too late, like I say, it had already aired, and I thought, oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is. No point worrying about it. I'm just glad I wasn't swearing in it, because that would have been awful, wouldn't it? Because occasionally I do have a little expletive if things go really badly. But yeah, luckily it all went quite well. And I got away with it, so that was lucky. So moral of the story there is, if you're uploading things onto YouTube, just check that you've actually uploaded the right blooming video before you allow it to go live. And normally I do. Like I say, I really don't know how I missed that. So it was a kind of a real-time thing. So, I've just torn that. That's no bother. Yeah, just as well it was only a quick fire video. Oh dear, what is that under there? Oh my goodness me. What's going on? Get out. Look, I'm ripping this to pieces now. Get out of there. Still, the beautiful thing about napkin is when you're gluing it down, it is actually very forgiving, she says, desperately trying to put things back together again. Oh my goodness. It'll all add to the grunge. It's okay. No pandemonium. There we go. It'll all add to the grunge. We don't mind. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. There we go. It's all down. Okay, where's my little bit of... There it is. Yeah, apologies if this is blinding you, by the way. I appreciate it's not the best thing to be using when you're filming with lights above, but it won't take too long. If you want to close your eyes, I'll let you know when I've done so that you can open them up again. Oh dear. There we go. So I don't really think I've got anything to really tell you today. It's been a very quiet week so far. I'm actually filming this on Saturday. So yeah, when I say quiet week, I'm talking about last week, not this week, because I don't know how this week's gone yet, because I haven't reached that far yet. We did, oh dear, we needed to pop out and get a few bits and pieces yesterday, and decided to go into Asda's. Oh gosh, do you know, honestly, I really need to get into the habit of sorting my life out now that I can do my shopping any old day, because we have found that the best day to do shopping is on a Tuesday. There doesn't seem to be many people around on a Tuesday, and it's beautiful. Nice and quiet, not too many people, loads of room, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, and we decided to pop into Asda's yesterday. What a mistake that was. Never mind. Right, so that's the second one done. So I'm going to leave that to dry, and then I'll trim it all up, and then we can embellish and do bits with it after the event. So those are going to be... I haven't made my mind up if these are going to be pockets, or... Pockets would be a nice idea. Nice long... Oh, that could be an idea, couldn't it? I hadn't thought about pockets, actually. They'd be quite tall pockets, though, wouldn't I? I suppose I could trim a little bit off the bottom. Put some nice tall tags in. That would work nicely. Okay, so there's another thought for me. Right, I'm going to pop that one to one side and let that dry off. And then we're going to move on to the next bit. Right then. So, next plan of action is... If I can pull them up, these little things here. Now, these were offcuts. And what I have decided to do with these is to actually... Oh, sorry, I'm just going to get a bit of paper because I've just realised that's all sticky and I want it out of the way. Okay, so what I've decided to do with these is offcuts. I had this little offcut here, and I had this little offcut here, and this one, and that one. And what I also still had in my stash were the two pockets that actually come with the kit. So I thought I need some pockets. So I've designed this. I just need to trim that a little bit up there. I've kind of designed, for want of a better term. I don't really do designing. I just make things up as I go along. So I've kind of made a little flippy pockety thing. So that's going to sit on the pocket like that. I'm probably going to put a little tab on there of some description, like so that you know you can lift it. And then when you lift it up, it's going to reveal underneath a little pocket that's going to have a little something in it. And then I thought these, one can go in that one and the other one can go in the slightly larger one. So that's my plan. That's what I'm doing with this. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it done. So first thing I want to do is to ink it. Let me make myself some room. Let me just check we are recording. Oh gosh, we are. Yay. Right then, let's get this all inked up. And I really still haven't replaced my sponge on here, which I really should do. Do I want to round that corner? Yeah, but you know, I think I will round. I do like round corners, I have to be honest. So I think I'll just go with a 7mm round. And a 7mm round on there. There we go. And just give this a little bit of ink just to finish that bit off nicely. The sun's just started shining through my blind and blinding me. That's nice. It's just on my desk here. Can you see? Hopefully it won't come in too far. Let's do this one. Yeah, I thought with these offcuts, it would be a shame to waste them. So I've tried to do things with them, and I will further embellish them with other little bits and pieces. I just haven't decided yet, but we'll probably decide as we move along. Right then, let me just fold these. Now, again, maybe I will. Where's my small ruler? There it is. And I've got a little thingy here. Just going to pop a little bit of a score. I'm not very good at doing score lines. I never get them where they should be, because I'm quite rubbish like that. There we go, that'll do. Yeah. I've tried using scoreboards, and I've tried doing it by hand like this, and I've tried all different ways, and I never quite get that score line ideally situated. I'm not really too sure why. I suppose that's not too bad. Okay. There we go. That's not too bad, is it? Not too bad, my love. There we go. And now I can do a little bit of inkety pinkety poo, like a so. So we had a very nice summery day. Well, I say summery day, spring day last week. I don't know when we're due to get our next bout. It's gone a little bit chillier again. I was horrified when I got my energy bill in this morning. That was a bit scary. But hey ho, never mind. Got to keep warm and cook, haven't you? Right, let's stick this little piece on here. My glitter glue. Doobie-doo. Actual fact, let me just pop that in. I haven't used it for a couple of days, so let me give that a little bit of a shake. I don't know if you need to, but I generally do. And then pop the glue down on there. And pop this on here. Now then. How's that? That doesn't feel too bad at all. So that's that one done. There we go. And then that'll just give us a little flip when you open it up in the journal to find a little bit of pocket underneath. And then I'm going to put this one on here, and then a little tucking can go in there too. That's what I'm reckoning. I will obviously embellish these a little bit more than they already are, just to add a little bit of interest and dimension. That's that one. Pop that about there. And then I thought that marries up really nicely. And we haven't wasted anything, which is perfect. So that's one pocket ready to go in. Like I say, I am going to embellish it. I haven't really made my mind up exactly how I'm going to embellish. I was thinking maybe perhaps what have we got here? Let me have a look. Just want a little... Oh, that could be a tab. That's handy for a tab, isn't it? I like that down there. That's nice, actually. Wonder if I've got one. Yeah, I wouldn't really want that any thicker than that, I don't think. That looks nice. Okay, So I'm going to put that on there. That can go there. That looks rather cute, doesn't it? Wonder if we did that as a little tucky bit too. Almost like a little mini belly band. That would work rather nicely, wouldn't it? Little mini belly band on there. Now then, what can I put on there? What have I got in here? I've got a couple of these tiny little butterflies that I stamped out. Wonder how they would work on there. Oh, that one's a bit... I don't know what's going on with that one. I'm not sure. Maybe they won't really work terribly. No, they're too samey, aren't they? Unless we use that piece and then put those on there. How's that? That looks quite cute, doesn't it? That looks quite cute. Yeah, I think I will do that one instead. I'll use that one for something else. I'm going to use those little butterflies. I'm going to cut this one off. It is a little bit wider, but I think that's okay. It still works. I'm going to cut that there. Didn't cut that very straight, did I? There we go. How's that? Yep, I think that works nicely. Okay, I'm going to go with that. And I want to just ink the edges of it to give it some definition. And to cover up that little white edge as well. And I literally am flying by the seat of my pants on this because I did work out the basic structure, but I hadn't really worked out what I was doing embellishing wise. So the embellishing is in my head still. So let me pop that down there. Let me pop that on there. Can I have that as a little belly band? That's cute. We like that. So I'm going to pop that on there. So that going down there and on there. I'll put that up the other way. No, I want it around the other way. There we go. That looks better. And I've probably put that over too far now. That's it. We're there. Okay, happy with that. Now then, I would also like... sorry, just bear with me. Got some little labels. Could use those as the little fordy bit as well, couldn't I? Maybe. I'm not sure I like these. I think they might be a bit big actually. Potentially. Unless I take it that way round. And then the butterflies. Butterfly. 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 Not sure. What do you reckon, guys? Not sure about them, if I'm honest. Do you know what? I'm just going to stop messing about because I do this all the time and I'm just going to go with it. So, let's do it. I really do need to learn to get a lot more decisive in what I do. Yeah, I'm going to pop that on there. So I just want to go up the centerpiece because otherwise it will be glued down, and we don't want that because we want to do a little tucky bit. Just going to try and pop that central-ish. About there, I think will be lovely. That's that. Okay. I've got these little things sitting around. Do you remember these from a couple of videos ago that I mentioned? Haven't got around to using any yet, but I did decide to go with the black ones. I'm going to pop that there and pop that there. Get a little bit tweezer on the go because these are a little bit fiddly for my sausage-like fingers, or dolly fingers as my family call them. There we go. Pop that on there. That will dry nicely. And then I've got one lurking there. See if I can grab that off. Yep. And then that one on there. Ta-da! Okay. Let me pop a little bit of ink around the edge of my butterflies. One. Well, that one's got a cut in its wing. It'll be fine. It's not got to fly anywhere. And that one. There we go. Okay. Pops a little bit of gluey on there. It's that one. I think I'll pop that there actually. Yep, got a little bit of glue on there. I don't want that on there. I don't want that sticking down. There we go. Okay. Just wipe that off a little bit. Okay. Need to be a bit careful then. They're not quite as wide as the band, are they? So I'm going to pop that one there, I think. So that one can go there. Love that. That's very pretty, isn't it? And then do I want to... Yeah, I'm going to put him up there. And I can glue him down in full because he's the one with a little damaged wing. So I'll mend his wing and pop that on there. There we go. Okay. And then this little fella can go there. We like that. So, okay, so that's that done. I just need to get a couple of little bits to tuck in there. That one's done for now, and then this bit needs embellishing too. So, what are we doing with this? Now then, I also found these, and before I discuss these, I'm going to pop that on there. Right, that's that one. And these are like little, what are they? They're car plates, aren't they? And I thought some of these would be quite nice on there. Oh, that's nice. I like that one. And I also like this one as well. That's lovely. I just wonder if that's a bit too much. What do we think? Do we just want... No, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to do it. Do it. I'm going to go with this one because I like that one. I'll pop that on there. I don't know where these came from, so I can't even, I'm really sorry, I can't direct you as to where I got these from. I've got a feeling it might have been from one of the Facebook digital print sites, and I just downloaded it and printed it. I could be completely wrong there, so please do not quote me on that, but I think possibly that's where these came from. I pick things up from all sorts of areas. I very rarely pay for anything for journaling, to be honest with you. Occasionally I will buy things. Obviously, things like glue and things you have to buy. But when it comes to digitals and things like that, I am a member, obviously, of Scrimping Mummy's Ko-fi club, because her digitals are just to die for, and I don't mind paying the £3 a month that is for those. They are beautiful, and I just think it's great value for money, so I really don't mind that. But I very rarely spend money on any other digitals at all. I either download them when they're free, I scroll the internet for things all the time. That looks nice, really pleased with that, that's lovely. Do I want to put a tab on there? How big is this? Oh, maybe I just want to put that little one on there. That would be quite cute on there, wouldn't it? Yep, I'm going to pop that on there. At this rate, I'm not going to get many of these done, am I, on this video? But never mind. At least it's the process. You can see what I'm up to, can't you? It gives you ideas for, you know, when you've got stuff lying around and you don't know what to do with it. Because if you're anything like me, you have loads of stuff lying around after you've finished a project. It's quite bad, really. Quite criminal how much I have left over. I overprint absolutely everything. And you know what? I've really been quite good on this particular one. I have not been as bad on this journal as I usually am on them, to be honest with you. But I have still ended up with bits that I shouldn't have, if I'm honest. Right, let me just marry that side up. Yeah, I do try not to waste anything, though. I do try to use it all up eventually. That's that one. Just dab that down. That's all coming together very nicely, isn't it? So, that's that. That's that. Got a little tuck spot there, a little tuck spot there. There's going to be a little tucky bit there as well. So, that's that one done. Just need to work out, I think that's that one done. I just need to work out now what little bits are tucking in where. So that's that piece done. I'm going to pop that to one side. How are we doing for time? Okay, I've probably got time. I'm not going to do this one just now, because you've just seen me do the smaller version of it. This one is going to be a similar kind of thing. What I am going to do is show you these. And these, if I've got time, I'll come back to that other one. These are the same ones that I've just put the napkins on. But I have literally just backed them and folded them. I have cut the other bit off of there, and I've cut out some bits and pieces that I want to embellish them with. Now my plan is that he's going to go on there like that, which I think is very nice. Just going to put a tiny little hint of some cogs down there. That's going to be a little tuck spot there. And then I'm not sure if that's just going to be an insert or whether that's actually going to be another pocket. Haven't decided yet, but what I do need to do before I do all of that, sorry if I'm shaking you, I'm going to invest in a new desk one day, and then I can put the camera elsewhere, and then I won't shake the living daylights out of you every time I'm inking. Oh dear. I'm getting there, slowly but surely. Slowly, slowly catch the monkeys. That's how the saying goes, isn't it? So, I want him to go in there. That looks nice, doesn't it? I'm going to have to trim him off a little bit. And I was debating whether or not to trim that off. But do you know what? I don't think I will. I'm just going to pop a little bit of ink on there so that when that's over the top, it doesn't matter too much. Oh, get it round the right way, Dawn. So he will go on there. And then, yeah, that looks okay, doesn't it? What do you think? She says, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, now then, I want to glue him all the way down here and a little bit across there. And then that'll just be a little tucky bit there, I think. That's my plan on that one. Stan, plain. Just give him a little bit of extra ink. I am going to cut it off at the bottom. So I want to pop him up there. Just trying to work out where to glue at the moment. So maybe just, in line there. Okay. Righty-o. So we're going to go across here, down here. Now then, that has got to be trimmed off. So I'm going to bring the glue up a little bit there. And then we're going to go across. I think across there. All being well. Hopefully I've done that right. Time will tell. Drum roll. Okay, let's pop him down there. How did I do? Oh, not so bad. Did I get the glue on there? Yes, I did. Tra-la! Maze balls. Let me just dab off the accessories. There we go. Okay. Trim this little bit off to the bottom. Making sure not to cut into the card itself. And then just finish off that edge there. How does that look? That looks fandabby-dozy, doesn't it? And then I want to put that little bit just on there. This was just a little cut off from one of the other pieces I've done. And again, rather than waste it, I thought I can make use of that. So just a little tip, when you are doing your little projects, you know, when you do cut little bits off, don't be inclined to throw them away straight away, because sometimes even little snippets like this can come in very handy for little areas. There we go. We're going to pop that there. Like that. That will all dry. Okay, so that's that one all embellished. Like I say, there's a little tuck spot there for that. And then open it up and you've got journaling space in there, which is lovely. We like that one. So that's that one done. And then this one, similar thing. I was going to bring her in there. I am going to trim quite a bit off her. I am aware, although maybe, do I want to put them that way around? And then have that as a, that's a thought, isn't it? I could go that way around. That as like a little belly bandy thing and have it open that way. No, I'm going to go that way. I know we're going to lose quite a chunk of her, but I still feel that that's better. And I think I'll do this more of a belly band-ish thing. What was I doing with that? I can't remember. We were certainly not going there, that's for sure. What was I going to do with this? Maybe I was going to pop that onto there, was I? Oh, I don't know, can't remember. Okay, that looks alright, doesn't it? Yeah, I quite like that. Okay, this one has not been edged. Sorry, just bear with me while I just edge my card. I think I only cut this one out this morning while I was just going through my bits and pieces to see what I had to show you that I could work with. So we will do this one now. There we go. Lovely. Just a little bit around the edge and the inside. The sponge is shedding like mad, and I keep saying I'm going to change it, and I still haven't got round to it. There we go. Okay, that's that one done. Oh, duh. Need to do this as well. No point doing that bottom bit because that bit's got to come off, hasn't it? There we go. Okay, so I want to put her there. What was I doing with this? That one was going to go there, wasn't it, and stick there. Is that going to cause an issue? I ask myself. Don't know. If I was to stick that down there and then stick it on there, it's not exactly going to be a belly band. It would just be a little tuck, won't it, as opposed to a belly band. That'll do. It'll work. Right then, so I just need to mark where I need to glue this. So it's about there, across that line there. Okie dokes, let's do this. So I'm going to glue that there. I'm going to glue her there. Glue her hat down. Pop that in there. Pop that there. That looks lovely. Right then. And then I want that to go in there. So pop some glooby doos on that. like so. Hopefully you can still see what I'm playing at here. Pop that in there. That's nice. Just going to re-glue that little bit there. Lovely. And now I'm just going to trim off this little bit of excess. There we go. I don't know if that's likely to come in use, but I'll pop that back in my box for now. Okay, so we've got a tiny little tuck spot there now too. So I'm probably going to be doing a little bit more to them, I think. So that's those two done. They're really lovely, aren't they? Yeah, I'm not quite sure what else I can do. I think maybe once they've got the little bits tucked in, I think that's probably going to be enough for those. So that's those two done. I'm going to go back now to this little one and get this little one put together. And then when you see them next time, they'll be in their journals with their little tucky bits. All being well. That'll be just grand and lovely, won't it? Okay, pop some glue on this one. Goodly amount of glue there. Marry that into there. Make sure it's not going any further down than it should do. Fold that over. Just make sure I've got no excess glue squidging out there. That's moved. Not happy. Oops. That will do nicely. Okay. There we go. And I didn't ink them because I'm an idiot. Where's my thingy? Oh, I forgot to ink again. That's that one done. Okay. Phew. Right then. So that's that bit done. Now I need to work out how I'm going to embellish the front of that. But before I do that, I'm going to stick my little pocket in there. So she says, you just pop my glue on there while I do my scory bits. See how well we can do this one. One. Hey, you see that wasn't where it needed to be at all, was it really? Hopefully that'll be all right. Let's have a look, see how we've done. Oh, yeah, okay, happy with that. They marry up quite nicely, good. And that one's just overlapping just slightly, so I'm just going to trim that down just a tad. There we go. And it's still overlapping a little bit. Maybe I'll trim that one instead. That's better. Okay, just get those out of the way. More ink. Sorry if you find the inking a bit boring, but it does finish it off when you're doing journals like this with any type of grunging. I do think inking the edges just finishes it off really nicely. Okay, so that's that. That's a pretty little pocket, isn't it? And then that, look, you see, it all marries up. So that's beautiful, isn't it? Loving that. Or do I want to put that on there? No, I think I will put that on there. I need to find something else for there, but I don't want to cover up these bits, so I'm going to have to go with something there, I think, on that one. That's my thought process. Let's pop this in here, and then we've got a couple of little interactive pockets. This is sort of a pocket flip, isn't it? I guess you'd call it. Little old pocket flip. That's that one. Just wipe that bit off of there. Oh. And we're going to pop that in about there, I think. Lovely. Just hold that in place just for a minute, just while it takes. There we go. Okay, so that's that base done, which is lovely. Now then, what are we going to do on here? Got lots of little offy cut bits, haven't we? I could. Well, I've got a bit long enough. No. I was just thinking I could just do a little side tuck on there, couldn't I? No, I don't want to cover up too much of the clock. Tiny little side tuck on there might work. Do I want black or do I want red? I think the black gives a nice bit of definition, doesn't it? And how much space have I got there? Because like I say, I don't want to cover up too much of the clock area because I do like that. If I went for a 3/4 of an inch band, I think that might work. Let's have a look, see. 3/4 of an inch band, and I believe this is 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 5/8 in depth. So 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. So that's that long. I cut that the right length. Yes, I have. Marvellous. So, and then I wanted it 2 centimetres, I think I said, didn't I? 2 centimetres. About 3/4 of an inch. That'll be there then. Oh, that is a tiny little piece, isn't it? I'm not really sure that's even worth having on there. That's never... I think that's the bit I've just... I think I'd like to go a little bit wider than that. I think I'm going to go an inch. Yeah, I think the inch works better, don't you? Yes, I do. Okay, we can use those other bits for something else. That's fine and dandy. Okay, so that's that one. I shall trim that. There we go. And do I want to do a little bannery bit? Maybe. Yeah, let's go with a little banner on there. So I'm just going to fold that over like so. Cut that up there. From there to there. And from there to there. There we go. Nice. That'll do nicely. Just throw a bit of ink around that. Okay. And now we're going to glue across there, glue down there, glue my little feet. I couldn't think what to call these bits the other day and I still don't know. So they're now feet. Chevrons, is that what you call it? That's just come to me out of the blue, like things do. Okay. That's that in place. Just position that. That's better. Okay, now we've got a little bit of a tuck there to be able to pop something in there. No idea what at the moment, so that's that done. Let's pop something on there, shall we? Yeah. I'm erring towards this one if I'm completely honest, so I think I'm just going to go with that because it kind of fits in with all the colours. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one, and I'm going to just pop a little bit of ink in the middle there just to knock back that white. Okay, let me just get these bits out of the way. I literally spent hours yesterday cutting these little coggy bits out. They were so fiddly. I don't have a cry cut or anything, cricket, however you pronounce those things. I don't have one of those. So I do all my fussy cutting by hand, and it literally took me forever. That's actually quite nice. I really quite like that on there, if I'm honest. So I'm going to go with that on there. That is what I am going to do, folks. So let's get it on down before I change my blooming mind. Okay, how far over can I come with this glue? Just about there, I reckon. Okay, there we go. So we're going to pop that on there just to give it a little bit of extra something, a little bit of extra interest, and then just take out the white core around there like so. Love that. And I'm going to need to call it a day in a minute because I think I've kept you all long enough. So I'm just going to finish the front of this and then we'll call it a day. And then you'll see them all properly on the walkthrough, which hopefully won't be too much longer. There we go. We're going to pop that on there like that. Yep. Like that. And then I'm just going to pop in some little, I wouldn't call them sparkles, but just a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking? Do you know, my words never come to me, do they? Not until after the event. Just a little bit of pizzazz on that. And that. Oh, little tricky one. Didn't want to go on there. There we go. And then one on there. Lovely. So that's that one done. So let's just recap on what we've done this morning. Bearing in mind this is just a No Waste Wednesday. Alrighty. How are my things doing? They seem to be drying quite nicely. So we've done those. Those are going to be something, either tuck-ins or pockets. I'm not quite sure yet. But we'll finish embellishing those once they are dry. They're still quite damp at the moment. In fact, I'm going to pop them under my mat so that they don't curl as they're drying. So that's those. And then we had these. Let me just move all of this out of the way. So we've got him and we've got him. I do want to put a little thingy on there too. So we've got those two there, loving those. And they open up. Got a little pocket there. I'm going to put a little design on there too, but I haven't got round to that one yet. And then this one, you open it up, little pocket there and a little tuck there. So we've got those, love those. And then we've got these two, which are just little journaling areas. And these are just going to be little tuck-ins. But again, we've got little tuck-ins there, little tuck-in there, and they will go into pockets and they'll have little embellished bits in here too. So that's those. So I think that was quite a successful session. I will see you all for Quickfire Friday. Hope you like what I've done. Leave me a thumbs up and a comment of any description. And if you haven't already subscribed, love to have you on board. The channel is building really nicely. And I'll see you all on Friday. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.